Welcome back for another video. We've got 2 double game weeks and a blank game week in the next 3 weeks, so in this video we've got a wildcard team to share and discuss. If you have already used the chip, then if nothing else, it's the best 15-man squad to take forward and lots of players to consider here. Let's state the obvious first and point out that wildcarding can backfire, as it did to a surprising extent in Game Week 26. In this case, you can at least wildcard directly into a double rather than last week, which was a single game week. So let's run through the team and share your thoughts on wildcarding below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. So let's jump into the team, and in goal it's RAYA, a name we've talked about a lot recently, and we won't talk too much about goalkeepers in this one. He is the second top scoring goalkeeper, and he faces 2 sides in a double game week struggling for goals this season, Everton and Southampton. In fact, this season Everton's 19 goals is joint fewest, and Southampton have only scored 1 more. You could make the case for Steele, who did take Sanchez's spot last game week in goal, but we did have a Brighton defender instead, which is safer. The back 3 is Trippier, Estepinian and me. Last game it was probably the last week to consider benching Trippier for the rest of the season. He's home to Wolves this week, who are the other side that have scored 19 goals this season with Everton, joint fewest. We've got double Newcastle defence in this draft to ensure that he can navigate blank game week 28 when they face Nottingham Forest next week. Though with Estepinian and me doubling, they naturally start this week. Estepinian's racked up 5 assists in just under 1400 minutes of football this season. He's got no competition for left back, completely nailed, and he has the attacking threat. Fullbacks generally do better in FPL because if he gets his clean sheet wiped, there is a chance of a return. And if there's a week he gets both, then it's a haul. He's a perfect example of this actually. All 5 of Estepinian's assists came in weeks where he conceded. His last 6 returns were 6, 8, 7, 6, 9 and 6. However, there were goals conceded over that run, but also 3 assists. There's basically nothing between the Brentford defenders, and absolutely any of them could get you something, so Henry and Pinnock are good picks as well for 4.5 mil. Last game week it was Pinnock who scored. Henry should have had an assist, and in this double it could just as easily be a me return. Brentford don't double in game week 28 either, so he's a very handy pick with a double game week either side of that as well. The midfield is WARD-PROWSE, Rashford, SAKA, MITOMA and McAllister in the midfield 5. WARD-PROWSE is in essence a 2-week pick on the wildcard. He's got a double game week, and then he plays in the blank, and then in game week 29 there's money in the bank to swap him straight for Fernandes, which we'll talk more on later. Best free kick taker in the league, on penalty duties as well, or at least I'm assuming he still is after missing one last game week. A huge 3 points for Southampton though. They sit 9th in the league still and need to continue digging out results, and he can be the difference maker. Not much to say regarding Rashford and Saka, both with a good single game week fixture this week. Rashford blanks in game week 28, Saka doesn't. However, Rashford doubles in game week 29 and Saka doesn't. You get the same number of fixtures out of them both over the next 3. Rashford perhaps the best captain pick for game week 29. Remarkably, no returns from any of Arsenal's popular assets last game week. Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Gabriel and Zinchenko all blanking, but Fulham's a decent fixture for Arsenal. The Brighton mids of choice are Mitoma and McAllister, who both put up double-digit points last game week. They've shared the points between them this season, particularly March as well, who misses out, and he isn't a bad pick at all, especially if you want to maximise differentials. 4 double-digit returns this season for March since the restart, 3 from Mitoma and 1 from McAllister. However, McAllister has very recently moved further forward into the number 10 role for Brighton, and he's on penalty duties, which was how he scored last game week. It's 2 double game weeks and 3 game weeks for Brighton, and that blank sandwich between. The other one you may want to consider for captaincy is Toney, who is in the front 2 of Kane. He also scored from the spot last game week to put him on 15 goals for the season, 4 double-digit returns in total, including a hat-trick back in game week 6. There's not been any outcome yet as far as his potential ban. Reportedly a hearing is in April, so it should be perfectly fine for this double and game week 28, perhaps in game week 29 and beyond as well. Kane completes the 11. After a poor result last game week, they do need a result in a match they're expected to win home to Forest. This season on the road, Forest have conceded 29 goals, which is second worst, though Cooper's done an excellent job shoring them up in defence over the season. It feels like a fixture Kane should get a return or two in, and Spurs don't blank in game week 28, which is significant. One notable omittance in the team is Haaland. It's a big call to sell him, but Kane has a better fixture this week, and he doesn't blank in game week 28. If you were to have Haaland, then realistically who misses out anyway? So yes, it is bold, but if it comes off then it's good ground to be made up. Perhaps we'll see some limited minutes for Haaland anyway ahead of a Champions League fixture next week. On the bench is De Gea, Schär, Gabriel and Watkins. So just to explain the bench further, if you were going to wildcard this week and bench boost in Game Week 29, then De Gea is a very strong pick, as Man United have a decent fixture in double Game Week 29 and good fixtures beyond that. Man United also expected to double in Game Week 34 and 37, so that's a lot of additional fixtures. Alternatively, if you don't plan to bench boost or you want to leave the door open to Shaw instead, then Ward's a perfectly good backup goalkeeper. And Leicester also have a good double game week in 29. Cher, Gabriel and Watkins all play in Game Week 28, which means you could roll the transfer with this team and you still have 10 to play in Game Week 28. If there's no positive news on Cher, then swap him out for either Botman or Burn, both are fine picks as well. Cher has a lot more attacking threat, so if he is available then he's the best option after Trippier. Lastly, we saw a massive upset by Liverpool last game week, and this wildcard has no Liverpool, who are up against Bournemouth. Clearly there is a risk here to weigh up in that respect. On the one hand, the reverse fixture ended 9-0 to Liverpool, which we almost certainly won't see again. But on the other hand, this team has 7 double game weekers, which in theory should comfortably outscore the likes of Salah and Darwin over the next week or two. Thanks for watching. If this video was useful, please drop it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more FPL content to come. See you soon for the next one.